Welcome back. It's nearly Christmas. It's the 23rd in Melbourne, Australia right now, and we are reading Matthew. We're on Matthew chapter 8 as we speak. I'm going to take you through the Seas of Galilee, how the seas happened and the waves happened and the crash happened, that Jesus then performed a miracle and stopped the seas. And we're going to go through some of the healing that Jesus did today. And as always, before we start, let's just do a quick prayer. Dear Lord, thank you for this beautiful day. Thank you for the year that we've had. Whether we've had struggles, the highs, the lows, the ups and downs, Lord, we always know that you are present, and that if we take time out of our day away from our phones, away from our computers, to sit there and just truly be with you, Lord, that we can sit in your grace and we can sit in your love and we can come back to your word and continuously read your word always. And that's always a place for us to rest, a safe haven for us to return to, Lord. Thank you for your love. Thank you for the connection that you have and the continuous work that you do. Amen. All right, let's begin. So we were up to Matthew chapter 8. We're going to run through from here, and I've got a cool video that I want to walk you guys through as well. So let's go through. Jesus heals a man with leprosy. When Jesus came down from the mountainside, large crowds followed him. A man with leprosy came and knelt before him and said, "Lord, if you are willing, can you make me clean?" Jesus reached out his hands, touched the man. "I am willing," he said. "Be clean." Immediately he was cleansed of his leprosy. Then Jesus said to him, "See that you don't tell anyone, but go show yourself to the priest and offer the gift Moses commanded as a testimony to them." I love how in this piece here, he's saying, look, don't say it was me. Go up to the altar and offer a gift Moses commanded as a testimony to them. Beautiful. The faith of the centurion. When Jesus had entered Capernaum, a centurion came to him asking for help. Lord said, "My servant lies at home paralyzed, suffering terribly." Jesus said to him, "Shall I come and heal him?" The centurion replied, "Lord, I do not deserve to have you come under my roof, but just say the word, and my servant will be healed. For I myself am a man under authority, with soldiers under me. I tell this one, go, and he goes, and that one, come, and he comes. I say to my servant, do this, and he does it." When Jesus heard this, he was amazed, and he said to those following him, "Truly, I tell you, I have not found anyone in Israel with such faith. I say to you that many will come from the east and the west and will take their places at the feast with Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob in the kingdom of heaven, but the subjects of the kingdom will be thrown outside into darkness, where there will be weeping and gnashing of the teeth." Then Jesus said to the centurion, "Go, let it be done just as you believed it would." And his servant was healed at that moment. Now, this story is very interesting, and the reason why the story is interesting is he talks a lot about, faith. The centurion's gone to him, "Lord, you don't need to come to me, right? I command men just as you do, and I command men just as you've got the power through the Lord to command. Don't come to me. I tell this servant, go this way. I tell this person, go that way, and it's done. Just say the word and it will be done." And obviously, this is pulling a lot on faith. And it was funny about that time is that in hindsight, I take a look and go, surely if you're seeing all these miracles, wouldn't you just believe him, right? All these apostles were doubting him and doing this. And it's funny because it comes, I guess, from a bit of a naive place of today. But I guess if like Jesus was to come into this time, or some person, and it didn't look like how I thought Jesus would look like, it didn't look a certain way, and I saw him doing miracles, first thing is always scam, right? Or nah, he's lying, or it's fake, right? Like, so I get that maybe in that time it was hard to comprehend that this was happening in their timeline, it was happening to them, all at the same time. And then you've got here where it says, "Truly I tell you, I've not found anyone in Israel with such great faith." And you'll notice throughout the Bible massively, it talks a lot about faith, and that Jesus says all the time, go in peace, your faith has healed you. And it actually says that I think 6 times in the Bible, I could be wrong there, where it's literally the person's faith in Jesus that has healed that person. So just something special for us to look at there. Jesus heals the many. Okay. When Jesus came into Peter's house, he saw Peter's mother-in-law lying in bed with a fever. He touched her hand, and the fever left her, and she got up and began to wait on him. When evening came, many who were demon-possessed were brought to him, and he drove out the spirits with a word, and he healed all the sick. This was to fulfill what was spoken through the prophet Isaiah. He took up our infirmities and bore our diseases. The cost of following Jesus. When Jesus saw the crowd around him, he gave orders to cross to the other side of the lake. The teacher of the law came to him and said, "Teacher, I will follow you wherever you go." Jesus replied, "Foxes have dens and birds have nests, but the Son of Man has no place to lay his head." Another disciple said to him, "Lord, first let me go and bury my father." But Jesus told him, "Follow me and let the dead bury their dead, or their own dead." Now, I had to do some research actually on this piece because I was a bit confused. Like, well, what does this, I guess, statement sort of mean? But what it's got here, Jesus replied, "Foxes have dens and birds have nests, and the Son of Man has no place to lay his head." He's talking a lot about how like people will in this time, and this is just my interpretation, was saying, "I'll follow you, Lord. Like, let me come with you. I'm ready to be a part of this." But he's saying, "You can come, but just bear in mind, I'm on the road. I'm sleeping on the streets. Me and my disciples are sleeping in tents. We're getting persecuted. We're getting attacked. Are you ready for that? Do you actually have the faith to come follow me and do such a thing?" And the second point in here, follow me and let the dead bury the dead. Another disciple said to him, "Lord, first let me go and bury my father." This is an interesting one that I didn't understand and I had to look up as well. And an interpretation of this can be is stating that his father was still alive. So there's an interpretation that his father was still alive, and that he's saying, "Look, let me just wait. My dad's still unwell. He's not well. As soon as he passes over, I'll come then." Right? And that's a saying that tends to be quite heavily in our life. When I do X, I've just got a lot on at the moment. I'm just trying to figure out this. I'm just trying to study. I'll do that after. I'll read the Bible later. I'll do this. I've just got a lot on. It's Christmas. It's busy at the moment. And the Lord's saying, follow me, let the dead bury the dead, as in, let this person, this humanly person, I know that's your father, he's going to pass on, but follow me whilst I'm here on this earth at this time. But like massive points for us just, I guess, to digest and process on. All right, Jesus calms the storm. Then he got into the boat and his disciples followed him. Suddenly, a ferocious storm came up on the lake so that the waves swept over the boat, but Jesus was sleeping. The disciples went and woke him, saying, "Lord, save us. We're going to drown." He replied, "You of little faith, why are you so afraid?" Then he got up and rebuked the winds and waves, and it was completely calm. The men were amazed and asked, "What kind of man is this? Even the winds and waves obey him." Now, what I wanted to show you in this point in particular is I pulled up a cool little video that I wanted to walk you through that actually explains this in a lot of detail. And it's from a guy, ear to hear, and it's called "I Walk Literal Footsteps of Jesus in 48 Hours." But this is talking about the lake that Jesus is on right now with his disciples, okay? So take a listen to this and let me know what you think. Let's go.
That the Sea of Galilee is super unique because within minutes, this flat, peaceful lake can turn into an extremely dangerous storm, just like the storm the disciples were in 2,000 years ago. So I asked him how a calm lake like this could possibly create 14-foot waves.
And from the north, there is like a channel between the Galilee and the Golan Heights. The way that the wind is blowing from there,
Over there?
it's giving her a head start.
The valley Ito is talking about is called the Arbel Pass. When westerly winds come into this valley, the valley acts like a tunnel, increasing the speed of the wind. And after the wind has gained all of this speed, it accelerates even more because of all of these hills right here.
Like, for example, that we have to slide down the mountain and then hit the water.
And when this fast wind collected from the valley combines with the wind accelerating down these hills, you get this. This is actual footage Ito sent me from the storm he was in just a few years ago.
We were flushed by the sea, flushed.
Wow. The crazy part is that this actually lines up perfectly with
Exactly. So you're about to say perfectly with the Bible. But that's the main point that I wanted to, I guess, take you through real quickly there is that this piece of information was Jesus calms the storm. This talks heavily about how storms happened on the Sea of Galilee all the time due to, those winds coming down from that side. So it's nice to kind of pair up some um, historical data and some actual evidence with regards to those winds to what was happening in Jesus's time as he rebuked those waves. Something cool. Let's carry on. Jesus restores two demon-possessed men. When they arrived at the other side in the region of the Gadarenes, two demon-possessed men coming from the tombs met him. They were so violent that no one could pass that way. "What do you want with us, Son of God?" they shouted. "Have you come here to torture us before the appointed time?" Some distance from them, a large herd of pigs was feeding. The demons begged, "Jesus, if you drive us out, send us into the herd of pigs." He said to them, "Go." So they came out and went into the pigs, and the whole herd rushed down the steep bank into the lake and died in the water. Those tending the pigs ran off, went into the town, and reported all of this, including what had happened to the demon-possessed men. Then the whole town went out to meet Jesus, and when they saw him, they pleaded with him to leave their region. Now, one point I have on this that I don't really understand, which I find interesting, is that when Jesus says in here that he saw the pigs and he took the demons out and put them into the pigs, if you know this or know the understanding behind it, let me know. But I find it interesting that he sends it into the pigs and the pigs run off the cliff, and then that person runs. Like, because I was thinking, if I was that guy and all my livestock just ran off a cliff from this random dude that I don't know who he is, I would be fuming, right? I'd be absolutely fuming. And I would definitely go run and tell whoever my head chief is, look, this dude just drove my pigs off a cliff. My whole livestock is all gone. All my money's gone. And so if you know what the answer to that piece is, let me know. Because, yeah, I find that interesting. Maybe he just listened to what the demons wanted and put them in the pigs and knew that he was going to send them off the cliff anyway. So interesting piece there. But look, that's end of chapter 8, Matthew. If you like this video, please leave a comment. If you're liking what we're doing in the series, please let me know. And we will see you on the next one. Take care.